Good evening, everyone. This is the May 22nd, 2019 meeting of the Urban Conservation Commission. This meeting is being broadcast live, gentlemen, and also being recorded. The meeting can live streamed. It can be seen at the town website, which is urbanguide.com. Before we begin, I'm required to ask if anyone in the audience is making a recording of this meeting. There being no indication that that is the case, the first item on tonight's agenda is a 7 p.m. public hearing. Aaron and Christy Kaminsky requested a determination for work at 2 Riverside Drive in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed to vote. Good evening.
Good evening.
And you are?
I am Aaron Kaminsky.
Hello, Mr. Kaminsky. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Good, thanks. So tell us what you want to do.
So we had a pool put in a couple of years ago, and now we're looking to sort of finish that side of the house with some landscaping. So we've had the bales of hay or whatever and the plastic sheeting, and we want to replace that with like a stone wall, and then do some leveling of the ground out there, get some grass planted, some loam put in. There's an old retaining wall that's made out of pressure treated wood we want to take out and match with the stone, make it a planter box.
I remember this.
Yes, it was just a year ago, May 31st.
Yeah,
you
couple
gave
2
it
years ago.
negative.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 years ago,
Yeah, time flies. Yep.
Wow, it does, wow.
So the problem is that I have the pictures, but it doesn't really, I don't really have a sense of where you're going to do the work.
Uh-huh.
Can you just show us?
Sure. So this is the old planter box that I referred to, but the big part is the retaining wall. You can kind of see how it wants to start the snake. So this is right where it drops pretty significantly down to the water.
Right.
So it's right here, and it wraps about 75 feet from here. It just comes around this side, and it'll just taper into the hill.
How high a wall?
2.5.
Okay.
Yep. I don't know if I had.
Now, what number?
Sure,
2
something else.
Riverside Drive, okay. Just right around the corner. Yeah, I remember him now. Yeah, they put the stone in.
Down the back,
Yeah.
it's the first one when you first did it.
Yeah, so you can kind of see, just how it sort of tails, and this is what it looks like now.
Right. So how close
Here
are
it
you
is
gonna,
from down below.
all right, so how close are you going to be to the,
It's about, I want to say it's like 37 feet, something like that. It's hard to measure, it's pretty steep, but
Right.
that's the best guess.
got it, okay.
Yeah, and you can kind of see it ending there, yeah. Yeah.
So are these like interlocking stones or what types of stones?
Interlocking stones, yeah.
Okay,
I can tell you what they, hold on 1 second.
sure.
The contractor told me exactly what they were. I just gotta find the
Did
message.
you see this?
Jumbo blocks.
I remember
is
seeing
what-
them.
what do you call them out? I don't know that.
Jumbo block?
Sure. So do you have to do any excavation?
They're gonna take down to put some loam in, because the dirt's real crummy there.
Right.
And then put some more to level it
Okay.
up to the, where the wall is.
So the wall is below the existing pool?
Wall's below the existing
Okay,
pool.
okay,
Yeah.
I recall it very well.
Basically at the top of the slope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And then in order to put in the wall, there's a stump there that would need to come out.
Okay. And how are you going to do that? You're going to hire someone just to grind
There's
it
an
down?
excavation, coming in to just get rid of that as well. And I guess it's easier to dig with the machine than, because I gotta go under a foot for the wall. So it's starting, you got the deck coming in, it's starting right around here, and then it'll loop, and then you can kind of see it, kind of loop, and then it ends like here. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's right here, so he's right here, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Any questions?
okay. I remember going there. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Any questions from the audience? All right. If there are no questions, is there a motion to close?
Make a motion, we close the public hearing?
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that as well.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed to vote. All right. Thank you, Mr. Kaminsky. We will hopefully be rendering a decision tonight.
Okay, super.
Okay, I won't be here tomorrow, but when were you wanting to do that?
Do you need me to stay for that, or how does that work?
No, I can
Yeah.
send you an email. How's that?
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Okay,
All
thank you
right.
for coming.
Okay. The next item on our agenda is a 7:05 public hearing, NJ Realty Trust, a notice of intent for the renovation expansion of an automobile dealership at 519 Washington Street in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed to vote. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. For the record, my name is Patrick McCarty, and my company is McCarty Engineering in Leominster. We're here tonight on behalf of NJ Realty Trust, and with me this evening is Neil Patrick, who's the trustee of NJ Realty Trust.
Good evening, sir.
So at the last hearing, we presented the existing site plan, which is this plan, and the proposed site plan to you. Just to quickly refresh everybody's memory, this is the existing dealership building, Route 20, and we have the small BVW that we looked at during the site walk, and this is the existing at-grade detention basin. And the proposed plan is the renovation and additions to the building to support the relocation of Volvo cars in Worcester, from Worcester to Auburn, and also to renovate the Volkswagen side of the dealership to Volkswagen's new white frame prototype. So we have, this is the round shape of the existing dealership building. We have a service drop-off addition for Volvo's side, a service drop-off addition for the Volkswagen side, and a service area to accommodate more lifts. All that's out of the jurisdictional area. Within the jurisdictional area, we are proposing to convert the existing at-grade detention basin to an underground storm tech system and expand the parking area over it. There'll be a small retaining wall, modular block retaining wall here and here within the buffer zone, and then some off-grading, which is at the area of that existing slope that we saw during the site walk. So that's a brief review of the project, and I think we all, the three of us had a good look at it during the site walk, so if there's any additional questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, so Ms. Carbo and I went out a couple weeks ago to take a look, and the plan, I think, accurately reflects the site conditions at the property. You're gonna, as I understand, as part of the work that's gonna be done, you're gonna make a concerted effort to remove the Japanese knotweed that's there.
Yes, we don't want it any more than the commission wants it there.
Good luck with that.
Yes.
So, all right. Any questions from the board?
Time period that you expect to have this done?
Yep, so the other thing I forgot to mention is we did go to the zoning board last week, as I think I mentioned last time. This property's in the zone-free aquifer area,
Okay.
so it requires a special permit for automotive sales. There was an existing special permit granted in 1993. We went back to the ZBA last week to request an amendment of that special permit to allow for this project to occur, and they did vote favorably to issue that amended special permit. So we have the hearing tonight with the commission, and then we have Tuesday night with the opening meeting with the planning board. They did hire Graves as is standard practice to do a peer review, so we're expecting at least 2 meetings with the planning board by the time we get the Graves comments, because we haven't seen them yet, so we'll get those comments, have time to receive them, and then make any modifications.
When do you hope to break ground for this
Right.
project?
As soon as the permits are in hand.
Okay.
So Volvo's very anxious for us to
Couple months.
get them into a new facility. It's very crammed in Worcester with limited parking, so they're excited to have the franchise moved over here, as is Volkswagen. So we're already working on detailed architectural, structural, MEP plans for the building renovation. At the same time, we're going through the local permitting process. So hopefully, mid-July to early August,
Couple months.
we'll be breaking ground.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
All right. I mean, if there are no comments from the audience, is there a motion to close?
I make a motion, we close the public hearing?
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed to vote. Okay. And the next item on our agenda is NJ Realty Trust Notice of Intent for demolition, construction, and other work at 189 Washington Street in Auburn. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed to vote. Hello, Mr.
Aye.
McCarty.
Okay.
Cool. For the record, I'm still Patrick
There you
McCarty.
go, you still are.
Still me. You didn't leave. I didn't leave. So again, I'm here on behalf of NJ Realty Trust, and with me is Neil Patrick, the trustee. And this is another project here in Auburn. This one's at 189 Washington Street, which is if you're heading underneath the Mass Pike, heading towards West Tech Drive from the Volkswagen dealership. The site's on your right. It was originally built for Keystone Auto Parts, so it's a pre-engineered Butler building with a bunch of dock doors, and it currently has Spirit Central cheerleading
The cheerleading, they came through us, the cheerleading.
Before West Tech Drive, did you say it right after West Tech Drive?
Right before West
Okay,
Tech
I
Drive.
got
There's
it.
a big retaining wall in front of it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yep.
Okay,
So,
we did go up there too.
We did go up there, too, yeah. So just to show everybody what's out there now, I colored the existing conditions plan. As we did for 519 Washington Street, we had Ecotech go out and delineate the wetlands. There are actually no wetlands on the subject parcel. There are 2 wetlands within 100 feet of the parcel. There's one here that's on Town of Auburn-owned land, which is partially the detention basin for West Tech Drive that's kind of morphed into a jurisdictional area. And then there's some BVW here, which is this medium green color. And then there's an isolated vegetated wetland on the level 3 communications parcel that's closer to the Mass Pike. So there's no wetland resource area on the site, but there is buffer zone. So this is the existing approximately 10,000 square foot building where Spirit Central is now. There's a paved driveway that comes in from Route 20 up with paving all the way around the building. Everything is proposed to be demolished. The building, the retaining walls, pretty much all the utilities, and we're basically scraping the site and starting from scratch. So you can see the VVW here, the dark green is tree line. It's really mostly scrub brush underneath the power line easement, but there is mature trees over on this side of the site. The proposed plan, and, if I didn't mention, this is for the relocation of Patrick Mazda that's also on Gold Star Boulevard in Worcester. The Patricks acquired that dealership, and as part of that, they agreed to build them a new modern Mazda facility. So the Mazda prototype is a 17,775 square foot footprint. So you can see the existing building is in gray here, and this is the proposed building. The driveway is essentially in the same place, coming up through, opens up to a building platform, as you saw during the site walk, and I'm sure the rest of you have seen driving by. There is a pretty good change in elevation from Route 20 to the back of the site. So this site will be graded essentially into 5 platforms. One platform here for the dealership and about 100 parking spaces, and then this driveway will keep climbing up, almost following the natural grade at about 10%, and then off of that will be a finger for vehicle storage spaces, and each one of those fingers will be sloped at 5%. So in the finished condition, when you're looking at this from Route 20, you'll have a retaining wall, as you have one there now. That one's kind of leaning and deteriorated, so we're going to replace it. You'll have a platform with the building on it, and then behind the building you'll have a retaining wall, a tier of parking, a retaining wall, and a tier of parking, and we'll work our way up the hill to best match the existing grades.
Have a nice view of the inventory from the
Yeah,
front, right?
Yeah,
I think
they
it's going to look
the
really
inventory,
sharp
right.
when you're looking
Right.
up at it.
I
You'll
think
see
so.
all these
Yeah.
different
Nice,
tiers.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice area, yeah.
So-
That'll be a showroom. The showroom within the building.
Yep. So the Mazda's prototype has what they call a jewel box, which is a 2-story glass corner on the building, and it has a stripped down like repair lift actually in the showroom. So there'll be one car up high and one below.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll be looking up at that glass corner of the building, and there'll be a Mazda logo on the Route 20 side and also a Mazda logo on the entrance side of the building. So it's going to be really attractive.
Yeah,
So,
It's just a
be
junky
nice,
area.
nice change
Yeah.
there.
That's places.
so within the jurisdictional area, we're reconstructing the driveway leading up in. We have proposed this 100-foot by 12-foot area for a truck to be able to loop around and then pull off the side of the driveway to facilitate loading and unloading of cars. In order to minimize the grading towards the resource area, we do have a small retaining wall proposed parallel to that pull-off, but we are staying outside of the 25-foot. We're partially in the 50-foot here. That's what these lines are. So the first line is our property line, 25, 50, and 100-foot. This configuration on the side of the driveway will look the same. You'll have the retaining wall with a landscape area above. I'm going to switch sides. On the other jurisdictional portion of the site, again, this is the isolated vegetated wetland. This is the property line. And right along the property line is a ridge. If you looked at the grading plan, you'll see that everything from the property line slopes down to the BVW, and everything from the property line slopes down to our site, so there's no potential for any erosion or anything to head from our property towards that the IBW. Within the jurisdictional area, we have a small parking area, a fenced dumpster enclosure, two-position dumpster enclosure, and then some lawn and landscape area. As part of the project, we are putting in a whole new drainage system, so there'll be 5 different infiltration storm tech systems. So each one of these rows will have 2 catch basins, one approximately in the middle, one at the corner. So everything's grading down this way, gets picked up by those 2 catch basins into an underground infiltration system. And then there's a main drain line, trunk line that runs down and ties into the existing drain manhole that outlets to the wetland. And then in this area of the site, there's another system that handles the rooftop runoff and the parking on the first platform. That's all been designed fully in compliance with Massachusetts Stormwater Management Guidelines. So that's really the overview of the areas that are jurisdictional to the commission. Again, the 3 of us walked it and took a look at the 2 wetland areas a couple Saturdays ago, and we think it'll be a real nice project for the town.
Is that, did you say Mazda was helping out with this, or is that wishful thinking? Mazda is
They
helping.
will help us with part of the structure.
Yep.
Okay,
As long
thought
as we do it in conformity with their guidelines for the Mazda dealership.
Okay,
It
okay.
has to look like their specs that they want.
So, but that's all on
You go down Route 9,
you guys.
like about Wellesley, there's a couple of new Mazda dealerships. Across
I've seen
from
those.
Volvo on, right about Wellesley and Natick line.
Yeah.
So each one of the manufacturers actually has their own architect that prepares their prototype drawings, and they send them to us, and we have our own local architect, so we have to coordinate everybody together to make sure that we're meeting. They're very specific on
Said that.
what floor tile you use, what ceiling tile, what paint colors are where. They
Wow.
want everything to look, consistent across their brand, which makes sense.
Well,
We've heard this from other applicants too.
Yep, yep.
They're also very specific about the number of vehicle spaces
Right.
that you have. And like I
Okay.
mentioned at last meeting, the last thing you want is someone to come there and get on their phone and say, oh, I wanted a black one, and they have it in Wellesley and drive away. You want to have the
You want the
inventory there
sale.
to support your customers.
Sure.
Like Prime did with the Ford dealership, that's their new Ford
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
street.
Yep, yep.
Can you tell us what the increase in impervious area is? From adding all that additional parking for your inventory, do you have any idea how many square feet you're adding to impervious area?
That's a
Because it looks like a lot.
It is,
Yeah. Because they're 4, 1, 2, 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 rows.
so this has 31,000, and 2 would be 33, and 6, 39. So round numbers, there's 40,000 in existing. And proposed there is 19, 60. $106, and what did I say the first one was?
40.
So about 60,000,
66,000.
about 60,000 square feet of
Okay.
additional impervious.
Was there any drainage there though before?
So,
for the 40,000?
We've searched high and low at the building, from the cellar, from planning board, Board of Health, DPW. Nobody has plans on record. The only information I was able to find is Powell Construction out of Lunenburg did the original site work, and we happened to do all of Powell's engineering. So I talked to the foreman who ran this job, and he said there is not any stormwater. There are catch basins and manholes, and there's a water quality unit. That's it. There's no detention, retention, anything on the site
Right.
existing.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have site plans. So if you look at sheet 4, you can see, here's the building. one infiltration system for the building and that platform, and then one for each of the rows that all come through, and those are water quality inlets at the low end, and then that all ties together and comes to the existing drain manhole. So we've got storm scepter units and storm tech systems.
Right.
So it's a big improvement on both water quality and controlling the rate of runoff.
What time factor would there be involved with this timing if everything were to go through? Even
Again, so that,
planning?
yeah, all three dealerships are very excited to get the projects going, so we're running a parallel track on all of these. We have the same, we don't need any special permit for this project, it's not in an aquifer district,
Right.
so it's planning board and conservation approval. So we're here this evening, and then we have our first meeting with planning board next week.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Who do you have doing the demolition?
So we're actually a design-build company, so we're engineers, site work contractors, and builders. So we self-perform the site work, we have about 18 guys in that division, we own about 20 pieces of equipment. So we would handle all of that.
So are you gonna do both projects simultaneously?
Sort of.
We hope to.
We hope to. So when they built the original building here, I think I pointed out to you during the site work, they took the excess fill from the original project and just kind of flipped it up the hill behind them. So there is a good deal of export on the Mazda site. And so I think what will happen is we'll start the Volvo phase of 519 Washington. So we'll build that expanding parking area in the back. We'll build the service addition, we'll build the Volvo addition, and kind of do everything on the left side of 519. At the same time, we start clearing and stumping and exporting material at 189. Assuming the town boards act favorably on our requests.
Is that area very treed? Is it very treed, that area?
No, the only area that's
really
really
a field.
treed,
Just way
Yes,
back,
Yeah.
you went right through that.
up on the hill, further on the.
the tree line kind of goes like this. So it's, I
Yeah.
would say it's maybe a
Way up
third
there.
wooded, and then this you can see is the fill pile.
Yeah, okay. Huh.
So rather than trucking it, they did the,
Piled.
yeah, just kept tossing it behind
Yeah.
them with the excavator.
Good.
Okay, well, that'd be a nice improvement.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a nice relocation of a
That's a
business
nice
to town.
location, yeah. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Any comments from the audience? All right. Now, Carol and I have been out to see it. Do you want to have an opportunity to take a look?
Drive by in the morning and take a look at it in the
Okay.
morning on the way to work. or
I guess the
something.
question really is whether we should continue this or whether you feel comfortable enough for us to close.
I'm comfortable enough to close.
He's been
Just
there.
based on what you, I haven't been up there.
Oh, you haven't been up to that one.
Tony, what are you feeling about
I'm
it?
fine with that.
Comfortable
You're
close,
good?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm fine with that one.
All right. In that case, is there a motion to close?
make a motion, we close.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. All right.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm used to juggling.
Nice presentation.
Thank you very much. Thank you again for all your help.
Okay, you're welcome.
Well,
Yep.
Good night.
Well, James, give me a call.
tonight.
She's got, I still got. Oh, Justin's here.
The next item on our agenda is 7:15 public hearing. Joseph Cariglia, request for determination for the installation of a shed and deck on property located at 82 Berlin Street. Is there a motion open? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, a vote. Mr. Cariglia,
Aye.
come on up.
Okay, let's see here.
So, I saw what you submitted, and it's still not clear to me where you're putting your shed.
So if you're looking at the pond side, there is an existing rental, temporary housing
Right.
rental.
Sure.
That is dead in the middle of that lot.
Mhm.
And where the shed is sitting now, within that buffer zone, I'm proposing to move it completely on the other side.
So to the
Oh.
back of your property?
I'm sorry.
To the back of your property?
Yeah, well, I would call it to the far right.
Okay,
If you're looking at my home,
Mhm.
it would be to the right of my home, and it would be 10 feet off of the back and 10 feet off of the side.
okay,
And it would be approximately 135 feet from the buffer zone. And today, there's also one of my abutters behind me on that right side.
okay, and then the deck that is presently there, you're gonna move it back from the
Yeah,
pond?
I'm gonna move that to 26 feet.
And is it gonna be a standalone deck?
It's simply a decking with 4x4s. It's very movable. We usually pull it back
Mhm.
in the, I believe you said you saw it.
I
We
did.
pull it back in the, when we pull our furniture back, because we get quite a bit of debris that collects there through the wind and through the off-season. So we pull it back in the off-season, push it closer in the summer season where it is within the buffer zone, so I will pull it back to the 26 feet.
What is
Now,
82?
how much effort would be involved in moving the shed from the pond back to the, where you've indicated on the plan?
The folks that sold me the shed agreed to move the shed
Mhm.
from one side to the other. They can expedite that
Okay.
fairly, in a timely fashion, several hours in a day, maybe a full day. They would load it up onto their flatbed
Okay,
and bring it, it's gonna be about maybe 100 feet or so to get it to the other side.
and then they would put this one on cinder blocks, or what,
Yeah.
because it's a temporary structure, right? For purposes of the
Exactly.
city,
Yep.
and you not having to get a building permit, it's considered a temporary structure.
That's correct, and I've already been through that with,
He does have to get a building permit.
Oh, really?
yeah,
He does
The
have
shed
to get one, yeah.
itself, I think,
Yep.
would conform not needing a permit, but he's got a little deck on the front,
Right,
so that is expanding the size, and he does need a permit.
but as I understand it, the deck is, you're gonna separate the deck from the shed.
exactly.
Now
The-
he's got
the-
a,
You know, it's not our issue, I was just curious,
okay,
all right?
he does need a permit, that's all I just wanted
Okay,
to say.
all right. And assuming we grant you a request of determination or issue a negative determination, when would you do this work?
So, I'm looking to do it after the temporary trailer has been removed.
And when would that be?
I'm looking at 6 to 8 weeks.
Mhm.
Could be sooner, and they may even look at the site and be able to get around that temporary trailer, or I may be able to work with the folks that provided the temporary trailer to bump it over. It's about a foot shy to squeeze it by there.
Okay,
I have plenty of room to move around, and also bringing into the mix, I could take that porch off, which would facilitate moving that much easier,
Mhm.
weight-wise and mobility-wise, as far as what vehicle they'll need to move it.
so you think you can get it done by July 30th?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep, as a matter of fact, I think that's a date we had talked about on the last meeting. Really, nothing's been done since then, but,
okay,
yeah, if you would.
okay. Any questions?
I'm actually hoping, sorry to interrupt you.
That's all right.
I'm hoping to do it before then, because the summertime, obviously, we don't want, and we don't want the backyard, which is on the water, to be in such disarray, an unusable shed, and in the wrong place, and we're trying to get rid of this temporary trailer. We want to get back in the house. We want to go back to a little bit of normalcy, so.
Sure,
Is 82 the house? Was it
yeah,
82's house?
Yep.
so, any other questions from the board?
The trailer would be, where would the trailer be?
I think the
On this
trailer is
trailers?
shown, did you indicate where the trailer was on the diagram? I don't think you did. But it's on basically on the
Yeah, it's-
border with 10, what is that, Collier Way? Or is that-
Exactly.
okay.
It's dead in the center of my lot. You can actually get by both
Okay.
ways.
Uh-huh, all right,
But yes, that's still there. It may or may not have to be gone first. I'm gonna try to get by that thing. As soon as
Okay.
you give me the go-ahead, I'm gonna move that right to the other side of the house.
and how is the house reconstruction going?
Very good.
Good,
Yeah, so things are going along quite well.
okay. So if there are no other comments from the board, is there a comment from the audience?
Yes.
Sir? Can you come up, please? Or at least come closer and tell us what your name is and where you live?
Sure. Doug Nelson, I live on Laurel Street, but my wife owns that property, and her father's living there right now.
And what
Next
was-
to 142 Wallace,
Okay, thank you.
which is that one.
Okay.
I feel bad for Joe. I mean, there was a existing building, it was like a screen house or something down by the water before. And
And that got torn down, right?
I believe, I don't know where
actually-
it went away, and now there's something new there, but apparently there's some other stuff that came up. You know, I don't want to deny him any of his rights that he wants to have as a property owner, and, you know, very much for, let people do what they want with their property. That being said, there are setbacks and things like that. I don't know if this board addresses that. I think you deal mainly with the setback from the water, is that correct?
That's exactly right. We don't pass muster on zoning, and just so you know, I mean, the zoning, or the building inspector is familiar with the property, and so I'm certain that wherever you end up putting the shed, will have to comply with the setback requirements under the zoning law, so.
And I could talk to Dougie about that when, I'll talk to him after we leave
Yeah,
here.
I just noticed, you know, the little rectangles that are drawn on the sketch here,
Yep.
pretty small.
Yes, they are.
And relatively speaking, so.
They are. Actually had hoped
Mr.
that we would have
Garland.
gotten a bigger plan, to be honest with you, but, I mean, it sort of gives us a thumbnail sketch of what's
Right.
going on.
You know, my only concern with any of this is that it's, you know, gonna be away from the lot line. You know, Joe and I had some discussions a while back about, you know, parking some vehicles right up to the property line and maybe even where the lot line is. You know, my mother-in-law was pretty adamant about that. My father-in-law's pretty loose with, you know, he doesn't even know, I don't know if he can even see the lot line sometimes. But, you know, the vehicles that were parked there were taken care of once it came to Joe's attention, so that's fine too. But, you know, my main thing is, you know, where that rectangle ends in relation to this rectangle.
Sure.
You know, if the backs of those two buildings are in a line, it's probably pretty good by me, and,
Okay,
you know, God bless them. We'll have some fun out there this summer at the pond.
okay.
But otherwise, you know, we just want to make sure, you know, that's all met and taken care of, so I just want to make sure somebody
Okay.
said that.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Nelson, I appreciate it.
Where
you.
he is right now? Where is he?
140.
142.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's actually in a butter, and I have to be 10 feet off of that. I'll talk to you after,
Yeah.
Dougie.
Yes.
But if I can just put one more stipulation, that his son doesn't catch more fish than I do next Saturday. But I wanted that to be on the record because
He's
he's,
nailing them.
he killed me a couple of weeks ago. But
He's killing me, too.
I do want that on the record. Just in case we start stalking the pond.
Yeah. So, that's it.
All right,
Okay, great.
So, just want to make sure.
all right, if there are
Thank you,
no,
Mr. Nelson.
Thanks, Doug.
Info too, so.
if there are no other comments, is there a motion to close?
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed to vote? All right, thank you for coming in. We will probably render a decision tonight.
Okay, great.
Okay?
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, folks.
Okay. Have a good night. Welcome.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
holiday.
Thank you, you too.
Mr. Stelmach,
Yes.
Here.
how can we help you, sir?
I was coming for an extension of 132 Prospect Street.
Yeah.
For the order of conditions, that was the one lot that it has the frontage on Prospect Street, but there's an easement down into Whitman Bailey Drive.
Right.
We went to ZBA before, or as we were going through the whole planning of the development, to make sure that we were able to put a duplex on there, on that lot, and do the easement. And then we also came to the commission at the same time. That's the lot where we have the deeded restriction as well, up on the Prospect side, because that's where a lot of the wetlands were.
Yes.
So just coming to extend that order because we potentially have a contract on that unit now.
Okay.
And we want to get going. There hasn't been any building up there since we've been in originally. So,
Okay, good.
All right. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we grant the extension request for 132 Prospect Street to JW Land Development.
Okay. Is it,
Second that.
Sheila, is that 3 years?
Pardon?
Is that a 3-year extension?
If he wants it to be.
Well, how much time do you need?
it's gonna, we have, 2 should be enough, yeah, because we're hoping to be
years.
out of there completely in 2 years. And we have, again, one side sold, so it's as quick as we can sell the other side.
All right.
Okay, it's 132. Is that just beyond the Whitman Bailey entrance, just around the corner?
No, it's all the way up the last single-family lot that we closed out the
Oh,
order
okay.
at 130
Okay.
Prospect. Just beyond that is the frontage
Okay.
that we use. So the entrance or the driveway to the actual duplex is down on, at the end of the cul-de-sac.
That's the last one, okay, I know where it is.
So they're not disturbing
Yes.
any of the wetland.
No.
Okay, so there's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, is there any further discussion?
2 years, you said, right?
2 years.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or vote?
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks,
All
Pam.
righty.
night.
You too.
Thank you for waiting,
No
Justin.
problem.
Okay. All right.
Why don't we do Justin first,
All right, there it is right there.
since you've seen half it already.
Justice.
He's trying to get the
Some nice
paperwork
people.
already, so.
Well, they, no,
It's
they
all
haven't,
set when I
they
go
got it
back.
straight.
They know what to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
They're the facts, they gotta know what they can,
It's always pleasant to,
those who know, like,
Building department, the same thing.
here?
Yeah, just a second.
Oh, second part, hang on. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
okay. For Aaron and Christy Kaminsky, is there a motion? This is the request for determination to put in the stone wall.
I make a motion that we issue a negative determination for the installation of a stone retaining wall
Okay,
at 2 Riverside Drive.
is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right. Okay, is there any discussion?
Just that there were 2 walls, so it's got one little one he wants to replace, plus the one down by the water.
Yes.
Yep. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed or vote?
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, what else did we have? Region Washington.
Why don't we do Coriglia next, and then we'll do the orders of condition.
Sometimes you get vibrations about people, and I don't feel as though he's being totally honest with us about something. I'm not sure what.
Okay.
But why is he only 26 feet? Why can't, he's just going 1 foot over that 25. Why can't he go any further?
Because he doesn't want to.
Okay. That doesn't-
He's moving it where he had.
That's all he has
It
to
on the
get.
water side.
Why can't
Because
Putting it in
frankly,
front,
if
yeah.
he didn't have to move either, he wouldn't have.
he,
Right.
okay.
Right.
That's, I had that feeling.
So in any event,
He's clearly trying to build a deck for like a boat or to just sit there or something.
Ramp or something.
I mean, he was just bragging about fishing.
right.
So I mean,
So unless he's going to cast from a deck 26 feet away from the,
I
which
know.
he's going to have to actually just
Really?
stand on the bank and.
What's
and-
interesting,
No,
being
he's
a
gonna move
temporary
that
structure, I don't know why he wouldn't want to see if we would allow him to seasonally move it close to the water, if it's movable and it's not
He
a
didn't
fixed
ask us
He
to.
didn't
permanent.
ask that.
It's a
Because
big
it's-
building.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I saw
It
the
would-
picture.
In
It's-
fact, under the zoning bylaw, it probably would qualify as a mini house. You know,
I read that, I read about that.
Yes,
Oh,
he does
boy.
have to get a permit. Is that correct?
Yes.
So-
All right, so anyway, this is all very interesting, but is there a motion? And I have some suggested language too.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm not gonna do it yet.
No, I will.
I don't feel good about
I
it.
make a motion that we issue a negative determination,
Provided that,
provided that
Okay,
once the shed and the deck and everything are placed with it as on the plan, permanently installed, that we're allowed to go and inspect it and ensure that it's the setbacks and everything according to the way he said it was gonna be.
that,
Would be the as-built, even though it's movable. As-built permanent.
as-built is being kind. What I was gonna say is, and I think that's right, I think that he will notify us so that we can make an inspection. And I would also
he needs to do that.
say that the negative determination is contingent on the deck and the shed being moved no later than July 30th.
We did have this, did him July 30th.
And until, and I think, you know, the enforcement order remains in effect and
Yeah.
will remain in effect until he's done the work.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Okay.
so your motion, which I modified, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, it's a vote. Okay.
I was kind of thinking they were able to get the shed down to the water around the mobile home.
Right.
Think
Sure
they'll
they'll
be
get
able
it
to
back,
move
yeah.
it back.
That's a good point.
But,
Also,
yeah,
they
they
built
did,
If what?
I don't
Say
know
that
if they
again.
built that front shed on, if it was just the roof. That
I
front
think they
porch,
built it on site. I don't think, I mean, I think it came in, didn't it come in
I
like two
think that
pieces?
the
Did you
main
say Reed's
body of
Ferry?
it came in one piece, and I don't know if they added
Said
that
skips.
front
The
porch.
deck was definitely,
And
Reed's
then the
built
roof
on.
definitely was added.
Yeah,
Reed's Ferry builds them on site.
yeah.
Okay,
Well, this was
Scott's.
Scott's.
That comes from Amish country. Well, based on my experience, I should just say that. That's where mine came from. People next door, gentlemen had Reed's Ferry come and build it.
Mhm.
They were out and they built it. So,
So I don't know if this front porch was added on, that now maybe he can't move it. I really
know it's
don't know.
big.
But that front porch is pushing it up to a big enough size that it's gonna need a building permit.
the front porch is not, porch is not pushing it beyond the 25 foot, right?
Well, no, the deck is right on the back.
Yeah.
The deck's on the water.
Okay,
Right.
that's what, okay.
I
The deck
didn't
is on
realize
the
they
water.
considered
Yeah,
that
okay.
part of the habitable square footage.
It
No,
looks
not
like
the
it's,
deck. This is a front
the
porch
porch.
on the,
it
yeah.
looks,
Yeah,
it looks like,
considering it
it
part
looks
of
like
it.
a front porch. It looks like it's connected to the
Connected
shed.
to the thing. Okay, I
Yeah,
gotcha.
it is, yeah.
So, in
Oh,
any
wow.
okay, so you know how to write the negative
Yes.
determination?
Gotta have some restrictions on that. baby.
Okay, and if you
Once
want
the
to,
shed and deck are installed and moved to as shown on the plan and inspected, everything is contingent on the deck and shed no later than July 30th. The enforcement order will remain in effect until the work is complete.
yeah, good,
Okay.
okay, all right. All right, so for NJ Realty, and this is the Volvo Volkswagen dealership at 519 Washington Street, is there a motion?
I make a motion that we give a negative determination
No,
to...
no,
Oh, sorry.
and an order of conditions.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
So we give an order of conditions for 519 Washington Street. Is that the first one you did
Yes.
separately? 519 Washington Street.
Yeah, that's where they're gonna fill in the
Okay,
detention pond.
that's
and
right.
Put in an underground detention.
For the existing automotive dealership.
Here you go, Carolyn.
So, oh, come
You
on.
can do it. I know you can do it.
I can't
can-
do
Come on, you
this.
do
Of course
it.
you can.
Right. That was mean.
You haven't, Carolyn, you haven't seen me, trust me.
Haven't seen one.
You haven't seen me.
Haven't seen me,
No,
okay.
we're very friendly here.
Okay, we'll do, okay, one,
Okay?
okay, oh, standard order of conditions again. One, two,
Yeah,
three,
yes,
no, five,
yes.
okay.
I don't think there's any riprap.
No, okay, so, eight,
Yes,
yeah, okay. Nine,
yes.
I think 10, I think
No,
we have a
that
10,
does not apply.
11,
Yeah,
and 12,
and,
and
Thank you, sorry.
14,
13.
13, 13.
Because there's no waiver that's what's
Okay,
requested.
that was too bad.
See, I told you.
Thank you.
It's like everything else. The more you do it, the better you get at it.
That's it, okay.
Okay, so standard order plus 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9,
Yep.
11, 12, and 13.
I have a question before we
did
take
good.
this vote.
Sure.
Given what's been going on at the Auburn Industrial Park
Yeah.
with those properties,
Uh-huh.
I don't think we've ever required a maintenance and operations plan like the suggestion, which I think is a good idea.
I do too.
Do you think with any project like this, particularly the one down by West Tech, because it's on the slope,
That's the
maybe
next
we'd want to make sure that they supply that as
I
part of
do,
your
actually I
conditions?
do, and I'm not sure that the applicant suggested or said anything about, well, wait a second.
I mean, I know we do have.
Yeah,
it's quite
about
a big thing.
159.
In
I'm
the-
sure
in
they
the-
did submit
In the
it.
narrative, there, I'm sure they did too.
Right,
So,
right,
yeah,
89.
okay.
yeah, I think we're good on that, I really
Oh,
do.
okay.
And actually, if you
Want
think
to
of,
add that on?
well, no, because I think 13
If it's
frankly
already in
covers it.
Right.
Okay,
13 covers it.
all
Yeah,
right, okay.
maintain the entry, sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep,
So, all right, so there's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay,
thanks.
is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, it's a vote.
Okay.
Do we have the forms to
189.
sign?
Oh, we're kind of waiting on you.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were going
That's
to be
okay.
doing the next,
I
I
don't
have
want
time.
them to get confused.
okay.
That's till Monday night, right, Tom?
What's
New ones. Right, you got a
You know,
tape?
you know when they played the St. Louis Blues the last time, right?
Playing 8
Bobby
o'clock.
Moore's picture.
There
I'd
you
love
go.
to see,
At night,
I'd like
so
to see
1970.
David Backus do the same thing. Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't that be
The whole
something?
team there, yeah.
Franzo was like, oh yeah, David was
he
in my
would-
wedding party. We're good friends, but this is the Stanley Cup here.
Really, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
great. Great rivalry. Just like Columbus Blue Jackets, that kind of, the way they're hitting. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a
They're a
great
heavy team.
series.
You know,
Great
but they're
series.
like, it's
Probably
go-
one of the best
oh,
in the
it could
last
be.
10
They're
years.
wicked fast, they're
Yeah.
wicked fast.
Oh, it's going to be great. We'll be all right. We got our scrimmage tomorrow night. It's sold out, by the way.
Yeah,
Really?
is it?
Yep, $10 to park in the
Yeah.
TV
Oh.
garage,
Uh-huh.
North Station, just for that, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
the
it's
Lawrence
exciting.
Jones
Isn't
Foundation.
that great? Yeah, yeah.
That's great, though. They're going to raise a lot of money.
Because they have a great team this year, and they're
Yeah.
playing really, really well.
I was able to go to the Sunday game on Mother's Day. 'Cause
Did
my
you?
brother-in-law called me.
Oh.
We're 8 rows up and best sporting event
Happy
concert.
Mother's
I've ever been
Day.
to. You were at that game?
Yeah,
Mother's
You
Day,
went.
Boston
Red-
got him.
yes, my
You went
uncle
too?
was out there on the field, he was 100. My mother's cousin, not my uncle.
No, not Red Sox, Bruins.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My mother, yeah, it was.
Was that your uncle?
It was
Oh, I saw that.
insane. It was great. Yeah, what a game to go to.
Red Sox.
No chance to be an
You
extra.
circulating the form?
I'm sorry?
I have it right now.
He's got
Talking
it.
Bruins,
He's
see
talking Bruins, and that's, you know,
you gotta
everything
keep
else is
going.
awry.
You gotta keep it moving. That's it.
That's right, keep moving.
But the fan zone, it was pouring rain out, so I didn't park further up by the government center there and walk, it was pouring. So
Yeah.
I paid the money, but the fan zone was set up incredible. All the causeway, the Hurricanes there, beat the Hurricanes,
Yeah.
big banner, 4 feathers, all lined up. Rick and Jack were underneath the thing,
Oh.
but nobody was outside. People were walking with cameras and it was pouring. But Monday night, if it's nice out, that place you won't be able to walk.
Oh, no.
So I might be in the middle of it, I hope so.
Got it all
Yeah, that
taped.
place is
already.
gonna be rocking, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, and then for 189 Washington Street, is there a motion?
Ditto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it close? Almost the
I
same?
think so.
I make a
Let's
motion.
find out, shall we?
Okay. I make a motion that we give a negative determination to.
No.
No, well, wait, well,
Issuing
I'm sorry,
an order of
conditions.
conditions.
You did that on the other one.
I know I
That's
did, I
perfect.
apologize.
An order of conditions.
Order of conditions.
Standard order
Order
plus.
of conditions. Okay, standard order plus
Yeah.
1,
Yeah,
2,
okay,
3.
uh-huh,
There's any replications there? No.
No, there's
You
not.
wrote 5.
okay.
No riprap? No. Is there some riprap? Okay.
No.
No, okay. 8,
Mm-hmm,
9,
mm-hmm,
11,
yep,
12,
okay.
and 13.
I I mean, actually, I'm not sure, I don't
Do you
think
think-
12 applies because
Yeah, because
they're not restoring a wetland and they're not mitigating
there's just some, I
conditions.
don't know what there was up back when you went up there.
No, it's an isolated wetland, it's off the property.
So 12, no.
Yeah, so, okay, standing order plus 1, 2,
2,
3, 5, 8, 9,
9, 11.
11, and 13.
Good.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll answer.
is there a second?
Hold on, I would like to add one more
Okay,
special condition.
please.
I would like to inspect the erosion control measures
When they're installed?
when they're installed, just because it's such a big slope.
Okay.
And if we get hit with all this rain we've had,
Right.
we had a severe storm or something,
Okay.
it could really be
So,
bad, so.
That's
Yes,
Yeah.
that
Just
property
as
is,
a
yeah.
safety.
the applicant will provide notice to the Conservation Commission when erosion control measures have been installed at the property.
Okay.
Because it is up there.
Yeah.
Mike,
Oh, yeah,
Mike
big
walked
slope.
up way up.
Usually the bigger
Yeah,
projects do that.
okay.
You know, and actually, I mean, we won't do it tonight, but I think it makes sense to probably add that as an additional condition.
Yeah.
You know, so I like that. Okay, so you've got that written down?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so there's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote? Okay.
Good.
And I think because we do have a quorum, let's see if we can approve the meeting minutes for April 24th,
Okay.
because it's fairly short, hasn't it?
We didn't sign these,
What?
The negative determinations?
yes, with the site in Berlin.
Yeah, yeah, so please, yeah, it's circulated to us.
Berlin.
Mm. So I've got 1, 2,
Is there
4.
one on that, too?
These two.
On Berlin.
All right, well, that worked out good.
Ah, it's a G, Tom. The G is there. We're still working on you.
You should see when, I have to fill out all the delivery orders
I bet.
at this business. That, like, I'm officially now like a minority partner, and,
Uh-oh.
yeah, my younger brother, who's a workaholic. But with this weather, we've been screaming, like Rumpelstiltskin, making gold, whatever that thing was as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because it's dry finally,
Yeah.
and we could have probably sold 1,500 yards of screen mold last week, I'm not kidding, because
Oh, wow.
nobody had it, it was all mud. And
Yeah.
the stuff that we had was mud, but now it's like nice weather.
Huh.
It's been going nonstop.
Nice.
7 in the morning, my brother's probably still there now going.
Oh,
But it's
shoot.
great, it's season.
Okay.
So I've looked over the meeting minutes and they look okay to me.
Okay, and that was for the 24th, correct,
Yeah, April
Michael?
24th.
Okay. Everyone got a copy? We did the 10th. We didn't do the 10th, but when, on the 24th. Okay.
Issuance is-
And on the 8th.
Wait, what happened to that issuance? We did, we already issued 347. I have that sitting up in my office.
So 410.
Yep, remember that now. I'm good,
Okay,
I'm good.
is there a motion?
Okay, with that. Make a motion that we accept the minutes of the meeting, April 24th. Conservation Commission.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote? Okay,
Okay.
so I think we'll defer action on the May 8th,
Yeah, they're not done anyway.
because they're not done anyway. And I thought I did not see them.
You
And
didn't.
is there any other new business?
That's what else is on
And
there.
if there is no new
Wait a
business,
minute.
No, Street of Massage, Blaker, Alfred Street, Faith Ave. That's a nice piece of property, that Prime time up there.
Yeah.
What are they doing to the left? Is that gonna be their service bays?
You're
To the
talking
left
about
of the-
Prime Ford?
Prime Ford.
Because they destroyed the old building.
They destroyed-
They
where
tore
they-
it- they tore it down. I don't know what they're gonna do
What's
with
gonna be
that.
there, I wonder?
I don't know.
Because where are their
Maybe
service
parking,
bays?
maybe parking.
Maybe parking.
So I don't know if anyone just looked at the next agenda coming, Ravati is coming back in
Right,
for those 2 trees.
right,
And we
before
still didn't,
they convey the property,
we
right?
still didn't issue an order or anything on his yet.
Do we have that agenda?
Wait, so what do you mean
It's
we
in the,
didn't?
it's in the
It's in the
packet.
packet.
Wait, time out.
Yeah.
What do you mean we didn't issue an order?
We didn't, or did we?
Did do something.
Okay, all right. All right, maybe we did, I don't.
Well, no.
Yeah, well, I don't.
They were
know.
supposed-
Yeah.
Defer. we
They
have
were
2
supposed to
days.
convey the property, and now
Okay.
apparently they're not gonna do that, and
Mhm.
They
That's
are,
why-
but I don't know when.
We have 21 days to issue
Yeah.
an order of conditions.
well, the problem, of course, is that we closed the public hearing 14 days ago,
Right.
right? We closed it at the last meeting.
Yeah.
Did we
I thought
issue an order?
didn't issue it.
If land,
I thought we didn't issue it because,
We were waiting for them?
land recording.
yeah, well, they recorded the plan, but they didn't have a written
No
description.
order of conditions.
And then they were having issues with the 2 trees, so it's kind of still up in the air.
All
They
right.
have the plan, but not the
All right.
legal description of
All
the
right.
transfer.
I don't think we issued
We
it.
did continue, yep.
Yeah.
We
Well,
did
we continued to
continue, yep.
5/8, which was the last meeting. This is according to the,
You
All
got
right,
a
so
date?
this is what we're
Okay.
gonna do. Okay, I don't think we issued the order of conditions either.
No, that's right, we didn't.
I'm sure
I
we
have
didn't
that we
because
didn't.
we were waiting. The land hadn't been conveyed yet. So we were kind of waiting on that.
Okay, so is there a motion to reopen the public hearing for Ravati?
I'll make a motion, we open the meeting,
Reopen the public
reopen the
meeting?
public meeting.
And, okay, is there a second?
Second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed to vote?
Okay.
And then is there a motion to continue the public hearing in this matter to June 12th?
I make a motion that we continue the meeting for 86 Rochdale Street, Ravati, until June, what are we doing? June 12th.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and we'll take it up at the same time as the request for
Okay,
determination.
7:20.
I'll
Okay,
second that.
is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed to vote?
Right,
I
All
thought
right.
you made that motion.
sounds good.
Carolyn made the motion to
Carolyn.
reopen the
I
public
did, I'm
hearing.
sorry.
Okay, so, okay,
Okay?
good enough. Yeah, see, I have it on May 22nd. Okay.
Okay, and if there's no other
Okay.
business, I haven't heard
and
anything
then
about
enforcement
Goodman
listing.
yet. I'll speak to Megan Selby to see where they are in their process.
Okay.
And if there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion, make a motion, we adjourn?
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed to vote. All right, everyone, thank you very much.
You.